exactly what they're doing here. They're imposing their will on the defense of the Houston Texans right now, and they don't know what to do.
Yeah, Ryan, 185 yards on the ground for the Ravens in this ball game. It's second down and 8 from the 47 of Houston. They hand the ball off to Dalvin Cook, running to his right. Cook inside the 40, cuts back left to the 35, and outside the numbers, inside the 30, the veteran with 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons, just signed by the Ravens, gains 21 yards to put them under over 200 yards on the ground this afternoon.
Let Dalvin Cook. It was outside zone again. The third time they've run the same play, except this time they had 2 tight ends, Ricard and Kohler, to the strong side. The Texans did not fit it up very well. Listen, how often are you going against 2 offset tight ends like that? Those guys, those outside backers, they're not sure exactly how to fit it. Terrific blocks at the point of attack.
From the 27, it's first down. They give it to Cook again. And Cook over the edge of his right tackle, inside the numbers to the 22-yard line. Rye, what are you seeing down there?
Yeah, Dalvin Cook, of course, he asked for his release from the New York Jets. That was a big signing, if you recall, before the season started. But he just didn't have any way to get on the football field with Breece Hall. Wanted to go to a contender. John Harbaugh and the Ravens jumped at the opportunity to get the All-Pro, and he is really putting the pedal to the metal here. In the fourth quarter, something they needed, a fresh body that could take these carries late in games.
And his legs, Ryan, to your point, are so fresh for whatever reason, and partially because Breece Hall was such a good player. The Jets hardly used him all year.
Second down and 6 from the 23. They give it to Cook again. Starts right, cuts left, nothing there. Grenard wraps him up and takes him down. He lost one on the play. So the clock will wind under 8 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. It's 24-10 Ravens. It'll be third down and 7 from the 24 of the Texans. They're obviously in Justin Tucker field goal range.
I wonder if they even throw it here. I mean, there's less than 8 minutes remaining. They're up by 14. The only thing you cannot have happen here is a turnover, because a Tucker field goal puts you up 3 scores. You must reserve the right to kick a field goal here.
Hill checks back in for Cook. It's third down and 7 from the 24. Jackson takes the snap, throws to his right. Has Zay Flowers, makes a bad miss at the 20, spins to the 15, and he's down close to the 13-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards, and now the 2 teams have to be separated after the first down toss.
Nice, safe throw there by the Ravens, right? It's just a curl route by Zay Flowers, who split out to the right. Not a tough throw for Lamar Jackson. They had Justice Hill go out to the flat, so Grenard went out there with him. Flowers knew that he'd be wide open in the zone, put it on him. The key, though, was making the one guy miss in Houston Carson to get the first down.
Clock winding under 6:45 to play here in the fourth quarter. 24-10 Ravens.
He should have been stopped short.
Yes.
I mean, if Houston Carson makes that tackle like he needs to, then the Ravens are kicking a field goal instead. There's going to be 2 more minutes off the clock.
First and 10 from the 13-yard line. They hand the ball off to Hill. Hill bounces to his right, cuts to his left, inside the 10, down to the 7. They'll mark him at the 7. Cashman makes the tackle. It'll be second down and 5, and a timeout called by the Texans. I don't think they had the personnel they wanted on the field anyway.
The Texans on defense?
Yes.
Well, you might be right, but I also think
they're out of gas.
And I'd rather call the timeout now than wait till later. I mean, you can't control the clock at all when you're on defense. When you're on offense, you can have a lot of control, and the Ravens, one way or the other, are very likely to be up 3 scores soon.
Along with Ross Tucker and Ryan Leaf, I'm Tom McCarthy here on Westwood One. You're listening to the NFL Divisional Playoffs presented by Intuit TurboTax. Game 1 of 4. You can hear all 4 on Westwood One. And next week's NFC and AFC Championship and eventually Super Bowl 58. The Ravens, the number 1 seed in the AFC, they were somewhat tentative after the first half. Have outscored the Texans 14-0 in the second half. They've dominated them on defense. And now they've got it second and 5 from the 8-yard line.
And there were a lot of nervous faces at halftime, Tom. You and I were in there.
Yeah.
You know, we were seeing different people, members of the Ravens organization and Ravens media, and there was some anxiety, to say the least, with it being a tie score at halftime.
I formation, likely the tight end who was acting as the fullback moves to the right. Justice Hill in the backfield. Off the play fake. Jackson rolls to his left. Ball to his left. Inside the 10. Out of the 5. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Lamar Jackson. An 8-yard touchdown run. He has 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns. And the Ravens are on top 30-10.
That was the exact same play they called on the 4th and 1. Fake the run to the right, follow Ronnie Stanley to the left, and it is an incredible luxury to have a quarterback with the running ability of Lamar Jackson. The defense pretty much can't be right.
The point after by Tucker for Jackson, 100 yards, as Tucker's point after is good, but also it's the second time in his career, first in the postseason, he's had 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns in a football game.
Wow.
With 6:20 to play in the 4th quarter, it's all Ravens on top 31-10 over the Texans. You're listening to the NFL Playoffs on Westwood One.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Grammer. Wounded Warrior Project supports injured veterans by connecting them with fellow warriors, by serving them through mental health and wellness programs, and by empowering them to live on their own terms. No one should face a battle alone. Join us at woundedwarriorproject.org.
NFL Plus is your ticket to the NFL postseason.
We gotta get this one, boys.
Let's go! With NFL Plus, stream the entire NFL postseason and catch Super Bowl 58 live on phone and tablet.
That is unbelievable.
Plus, stay connected throughout the offseason with special content, the NFL Scouting Combine, NFL Draft, and more, all in one place. Sign up today at plus.nfl.com. Terms and conditions apply.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Imagine having all the money you need for retirement, all the income, every month, guaranteed. That's Secure Future Investor, an indexed annuity tied to growth in the stock market, but without any risk of loss ever. It's guaranteed money for life income, no matter how long you live. Call 888-509-2228. 888-509-2228. Sponsored by GP Agency, Inc., Raleigh, North Carolina. Licensed in all states. Performance may vary. Consult with your financial professional before making an investment decision.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Grammer. Wounded Warrior Project supports injured veterans by connecting them with fellow warriors, by serving them through mental health and wellness programs, and by empowering them to live on their own terms. No one should face a battle alone. Join us at woundedwarriorproject.org.
COVID-19 can keep you on the sidelines. If you're more likely to get very sick from COVID, ask your doctor if prescription oral treatment is right for you. Visit treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer. Lamar Jackson with his 16th career 100-yard rushing game. Pretty amazing. The Ravens will go back on defense, which has been dominant in the second half, as dominant as Lamar Jackson has been this entire game.
I mean, it was a pretty even first half. This
really
has just been stunning to me, the way the Ravens have just pulled away.
Here's Sims, he'll return it from the goal line. He cuts over to the right across the 20, and he's up to the 25-yard line before he's taken down. The road to Super Bowl 58 continues tonight and tomorrow with the divisional playoffs presented by Intuit TurboTax. Which NFL teams will punch their ticket to the conference championships? Visit NFL.com/schedule for more info. How about the last 3 drives for the Ravens? 6 plays, 55 yards. 12 plays, 93 yards. Last drive, 11 plays, 78 yards. All 3 resulting in touchdowns.
Meanwhile, the Texans have 32 yards in the second half. This has been an absolute beatdown here in the second half. The Texans need points, and they need them in a hurry.
Timeout is called before the Texans are able to get up to the line of scrimmage. John Harbaugh has thrown the challenge flag out. Does he think that Sims may have fumbled that ball as he went to the ground? I thought he was down, and then the ball came loose. And let's see if that's exactly what it is.
Baltimore is challenging that the runner fumbled the ball and they recovered it on the kickoff return.
Well, this is imposing for the Texans because I thought the play was blown dead. But John Hussey will take a look at this.
He was down.
Yeah. This Close Shave Instant Replay review is sponsored by Barbasol Shaving Cream. Choose Barbasol for a thick lather and close, comfortable shave. Barbasol, the American original for over 100 years. Better by Barbasol.
I mean, they just showed it on the Jumbotron for the first time, and Harbaugh saw it for the first time, and he was not happy. His guys and the coaching staff, whoever told him to challenge that, he just said to those guys, "Are you kidding me?"
I will say over the years, and this is more on memory than anything else, he has had some interesting challenges.
Well, this isn't even interesting. This is terrible. I mean, and this is, listen, this is interesting.
After review, the runner was down by contact. This will be an unsuccessful challenge for Baltimore, and we will charge them their second timeout.
John Hussey sounds cold, doesn't he?
He does sound cold. He needs a tissue, too. He's got some a liquidy substance coming out of his nostril there.
Ryan, can you attest to the fact that if you're on the sidelines, you'll get liquidy substances that you have to wipe away every once in a while?
Yeah, I mean, this situation it's as a head coach, you have to trust.
Yeah.
But you also have to make sure you're doing the right thing in the right moment.
It'll be first down for the 29-yard line. Singletary in motion out of the backfield. Stroud drops back to pass out of the gun. Pressure's coming. Rolls to his right, directing traffic. Still rolling to his right, and he throws it back incomplete. Intended for Nico Collins. It was broken up by two defenders. Patrick Queen was one of them, and the other one was Ronald Darby. Travis Jones was pursuing C.J. Stroud.
They still haven't sacked him, but man, they've gotten close so many times. He does a really nice job. He's got a strong tendency to escape to his right. You would think whichever the edge defender is over there, Clowney or Van Noy or whoever, would be able to pick up a sack just with how often Stroud tries to escape that direction.
Second and 10 for the 29. Trips to the left, two receivers right. Stroud, empty backfield, takes the snap, throws to the middle of the field for Schultz, and he overthrows him. He was open also. There is a flag down at the 24-yard line. It's in the neighborhood of holding. And Jadeveon Clowney is saying that he was being held.
Holding. Offense number 69. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Shaq Mason called for his second penalty. You mentioned before that you didn't think the Texans would run the ball anymore because Stroud has been so good. 6 of 9 for 16 yards in this second half, Ross, for C.J. Stroud. So they have no other answer.
No, well, obviously they can't run it now, and they weren't running it effectively. That was a blatant hold by Shaq Mason. The Ravens ran a stunt to that side. Clowney was the looper coming around, and Mason was not in good position. Basically just tugged him down by the chest plate on the shoulder pad.
Second down and 20 from the 19-yard line of Houston. Robert Woods in motion. Stroud out of the gun, drops back to pass. Pressure's coming, throws left to Woods. Woods has got it at the 25, so he gets 6 yards back. Millette makes the tackle. It'll be third down. And by the way, the penalties for the Texans, it's a franchise record postseason penalties. 10 in this game.
And this is likely 4-down territory.
Has to be. It's third down and 14 from the 25, and flags come in. I didn't think anybody was set there. It's going to be a false start against Houston.
How many times have you said that today?
I feel like I've said it at least 6.
Full start. Offense number 78. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Officially, I've said it 5 times, Ross. That was the 5th. Ball goes back to the 20-yard line of the Texans. It'll be third down and 19.
All right, so they have 2 downs to get 19 yards. You want to try to get a big chunk of it here on third down. I'd expect this to be a 10 to 15-yard throw, perhaps an in-breaking route. This is also when you might get interception because Stroud's going to have to drive the ball down the field a little bit.
Ravens up 31-10. Stroud out of the gun, has it, throws left, passes complete to Ogunbowale, makes one-man miss along the numbers, cuts to his right, and dives forward to the 32, maybe the 33 of Houston. It's a gain of 13. It'll be fourth down. Brandon Stevens missed a tackle. But the clock will wind under 5 minutes to play by the time this play is uncorked.
That at least gives the Texans a chance here on fourth down, but this is the game.
4th and 6 from the 33 of Houston. Near hash mark, moving from right to left. Blitz is coming. Stroud takes the snap, throws to the middle. Incomplete. Intended for Dalton Schultz. Arthur Millette was in on the hit as soon as Stroud let that ball go, and the Ravens will take over and take this franchise to the AFC Championship.
For the first time, Tom, since 1971, there's going to be a conference championship game here in Baltimore. That's when it was the Colts. That's just remarkable. The Ravens brought pressure off the edge from Millette. Stroud was hurried. He overthrew Dalton Schultz. But you think about, the Ravens have won a couple Super Bowls.
Yes.
And they've been in several AFC championship games. None of them have been here. They've had to go on the road for all those, which I'm so excited for their fans, because even though they won a couple Super Bowls, you ask anybody, there's nothing like a home conference championship game.
Jackson out of the gun, hands the ball off to Dalvin Cook, who runs to his right, and Cook over the block of his right tackle, gets to the 29. A timeout called by the Texans. It's a gain of almost 5 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 5 from the 29 of Houston. The run to Super Bowl 58 is on, and NFL Network is your home for the most comprehensive playoff coverage anywhere, all the way through Super Bowl 58. NFL Network, one network, all postseason. And again, the winner of this game, and more and more.
Or Patrick Mahomes. I'd be curious to ask Ravens fans who they'd rather play in that one. I think you'd still probably rather not go against the Chiefs with the track record in the postseason of Mahomes and Andy Reid.
2nd and 6 from the 29. They hand it off to Dalvin Cook, who runs left. He's spun down left to the 28-yard line. Davis makes the tackle for the Texans, and a timeout is called by Houston. So Houston is now out of timeouts. The Ravens have one. And it'll be 3rd down and 5 from the 28 of Houston.
Do you think they throw it here, Tom?
I don't think they throw it here.
No. I agree. I think it's a run, especially now that the Texans don't have any more timeouts left. Right now, it really doesn't make sense to throw it. You run it, and you take the clock all the way down. You have Justin Tucker kick the field goal, and then the Texans would need 3 touchdowns and 3 two-point conversions. The odds of that, obviously, not real good.
It's 3rd down and 5 from the 28-yard line with 4:53 to play in the 4th quarter. It's the Ravens 31, the Texans 10. And in their own individual and sometimes collective way, the fans here at M&T Bank Stadium are kind of celebrating and anticipating. Likely in motion. The pitch goes to Hill, running to his right, has some blockers, still on his feet, and he dives forward to the 25-yard line. They'll mark him at the 26. Morgan Moses made the block to free him up. So it'll be 4th down and 3. They're going to keep the offense on the field.
Well, I think that they would at least at a minimum here try to get the Texans to jump on a hard count, right? I don't know that they'll actually go for it
and
here.
Use their last time out if they have to?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's at a minimum. It wouldn't shock me if they went for it and tried to really salt this thing away. But my guess is this is more just a hard count.
4th and 3 from the 26-yard line of Houston. Here hash mark, moving from left to right. Likely's in motion. They take the snap. They pitch it to Hill. Running to his right. Has blockers. He's got the first down. Morgan Moses again. And he's on one knee signaling first down on the sidelines. It's a gain of 5, and the salting will begin.
Boy, you got to love that if you're a Baltimore Ravens fan. And also, I think I'd be curious to see what the analytics say on that, because if you're up 21, the odds are they're not going to get 3 touchdowns anyway, right? But if they do, 3 touchdowns, 3 extra points, they tie it up. It's still 3 scores either way. So in this instance, they at least gave themselves a chance to keep running clock, which is probably more valuable than another 3 points in this instance.
Dalvin Cook checks in. He'll take the handoff at 1st and 10 from the 21. He stops behind the line of scrimmage and then cuts back left, and he's down inside the 20. No timeouts left for the Texans. The Ravens have over 230 yards on the ground in this afternoon's game.
Boy, you don't see that very often in pro football, do you?
No.
Over 200 yards rushing?
Not at this day and age. Now, back more than 50 years ago,
of course,
when the Colts hosted an AFC championship, AFC title game here in Baltimore. Maybe that was happening.
Smart thing now by the Ravens, staying in the huddle as long as they won. They should not snap the ball until there's less than 5 seconds on the play clock.
Play clock has 2. Jackson under center, takes the snap, hands the ball on a pitch to his left for Cook, who runs left and just sits down after losing 3 yards. Blake Cashman makes the tackle. And that'll take the clock under 3 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Jackson comes over to the sidelines and barks something at John Harbaugh.
It's going to be a pretty tough team to beat here, Tom.
Well, if they play like this, when they run the football and Jackson's under control and doesn't turn it over, I mean, again, you alluded to it. The only touchdown today for the Texans was the punt return. That's it.
Every stat for the Ravens is more impressive than the next. They're the only team to have 25 points per game, number 1 rushing offense, number 1 scoring defense, except the 85 Bears, 72 Dolphins. That's a pretty good football team.
Hand the ball off to Cook on 3rd and 12 from the 23. Runs right, and he stood up and pushed back to the 25-yard line. Barnett makes the tackle. And that'll take this to the 2-minute warning. And it'll bring Tucker out onto the field on 4th down. Lamar Jackson's already walking over to the sidelines. He senses what's happening here. He looks a little upset that they didn't do something a little different on that play. We have reached the 2-minute warning here in Baltimore. The number 1 seed, the Ravens, on top of the Texans, 31-10. You're listening to the NFL Playoffs on Westwood One.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Grammer. Wounded Warrior Project supports injured veterans by connecting them with fellow warriors, by serving them through mental health and wellness programs, and by empowering them to live on their own terms. No one should face a battle alone. Join us at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Jackson Hewitt has a plan to get your tax refund fast with a buck here, buck there, here a buck, there a buck, everywhere a buck.
You don't have to wait weeks for your tax refund. Get money sooner with a no-fee refund advance loan at Jackson Hewitt.
On this loan, there's a money today guarantee. E-I-E-I-Do.
Don't settle for chicken feed. Get fast bucks at Jackson Hewitt today. No-fee refund advance loans by Republic Bank offered to eligible clients. Money today guarantee if approved for a loan on a prepaid card. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Retired or retiring soon? How much money do you need to live comfortably? Retirement Planners of America is here for you. Would you like to have financial peace of mind? Here's how. Step 1. Find out the amount of money you'll need to retire. Step 2. Have a plan to get there. Step 3. Make sure that plan can take advantage of market gains but protect you from market losses. Discover how to do all 3 with a free consultation at 800-508-6108. That's 800-508-6108.
All investments involve risk, including losses. Past performance does not guarantee future results.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Grammer. Wounded Warrior Project supports injured veterans by connecting them with fellow warriors, by serving them through mental health and wellness programs, and by empowering them to live on their own terms. No one should face a battle alone. Join us at woundedwarriorproject.org.
You can catch the Rich Eisen Show every weekday from 12 until 3 Eastern Time on many of these same stations. And be sure to look out for 2 new podcasts from Rich Eisen Podcast. All the NFL hot takes you can handle on Overreaction Monday. And each Tuesday, download What the Football with Susie Schuster and former Raiders CEO Amy Trask. Get them wherever you get your podcasts. Along with Ross Tucker and Ryan Leaf, I'm Tom McCarthy. 2 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. And the Ravens up 31-10. And they've been really